Welcome, everyone. It is another Tuesday evening. The Angriest man here, going live. Now, we're going to give this a few minutes because, you know, if you have your subscribe or follow button on, you should be getting a beep in about a few minutes to join our little party and see how it is on a terrible Tuesday. So we'll just give it a few minutes. Da, 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 da. So, if you want to watch this, you can always rewind and rewatch this if you're jumping in right now. If you're watching later on, you can just fast forward through this. And we just usually give it about 2 minutes or so before we start going into anything. This is usually the general conversation. So just kick around a couple topics tonight. So the Celtics won their 18th championship. Congratulations to Boston from formerly up that way. So got a little rowdy there last night. For anyone who has ever been to Boston, that's generally how it goes with these things, with the championship win. So kudos to them. I was there in 2004 when the Red Sox won their championship after 86 years. And needless to say, my car roof was dented after that. So it gets a little rowdy up there when they win championships. Just the way it goes. Don't look into it. So yeah, we're coming up on just about 2 minutes into this. So if you want to join in, come on in. If you're watching on playback, yeah, we're just kicking around. Just give it a few minutes for people to join in. If you plan on watching in the future, I do this every Tuesday. It's kind of the schedule that I have that allows me to do this show. Gives us, myself, and you, the audience, the ability to come onto a show and just basically let out the anger, let out whatever stresses us out, complain, do a lot of I told you so's and all that good stuff. So feel free to join us Tuesdays. I will be doing a special show every Saturday night for the foreseeable future of story time. What are the stories about? Well, there was something that happened. If you want to watch it, watch Saturday's show, which it was June 15th. So watch June 15th show, and it catches you up on everything. So basically, these stories are really well written stories about lessons and heartache, I guess, somebody's heartache. And they're actually really, really interesting, at least from my perspective of reading them. Hopefully, they're interesting for you. So grab a glass of wine, grab a beer, grab whatever you like, grab a chocolate milk or anything. Whatever your drink of choice is. And join me Saturday nights. Start around 8 o'clock. And until I run out of stories to read, we'll keep doing those. There was a really great audience watching this weekend and still watching. The numbers are still going up. So we're going to keep that going for a little bit, at least till I can keep it filled with stories. And we'll go from there. But generally, Tuesdays, come together, express your anger. I am the angriest man in Orlando. If you've ever been to Orlando, you know there's plenty of reasons to be angry. So let's get into this show. So, title is It's a Terrible Tuesday. And did I have a terrible Tuesday? Well, I didn't have the greatest Tuesday, but, elbow's a little banged up from stuff at work. So, but Somebody had a worse Tuesday than me. And so I'm going to show you who that person was. Now, please, please don't be scared by this photo. This photo is the mugshot of one Justin Timberlake, formerly of NSYNC. So, Mr. Timberlake was in New York City. He's currently out on tour, but I don't believe this was a tour stop. So he decided to go out Monday night, go meet some friends at another hotel. Standard, fun stuff to do. You go hang out with your friends, on see what's going on, catch up on old stories, have a drink, two, maybe 12, possibly even some illicit drugs. We don't know quite on that. But what happened after was basically Mr. Timberlake got into his car, proceeded to leave the hotel to go back to the hotel he was staying at. After, they say, almost immediately leaving the hotel, he was observed running a stop sign. I'm guessing officer followed him and proceeded to watch Mr. Timberlake swerve from side to side while driving down the road. They lit him up, basically put the lights on, pulled him over, had him do a field sobriety test where they asked him to lift one leg and walk around, assuming like hopping or something like that. And he failed it. His eyes did look glazed over. They had the smell of alcohol on him. So several minutes later, his friends showed up to try to talk to the officer to kind of let, maybe just kind of like give him a warning or something. The officers were just not having that. So he was arrested and booked into the Sag Harbor jail. Probably just a holding cell at the police station. No big deal. He went to court this morning, bailed out. Well, actually, there was no bail, so it was basically just release on personal recognizance, and walked out. Got picked up by his lawyer, I believe, who bailed him out. And this is his booking photo, which they released a few hours ago. So, yeah, Mr. Timberlake had a terrible Tuesday coming out of jail this morning. So, crazy, crazy, crazy morning for Mr. Timberlake. Terrible Tuesday for him. Me, not so much. Me, not so much. I actually had, iffy Tuesday. But what feels better, because we talk about, getting better, we have a comment relating to that. Who and why do we care? Okay, I'm guessing you didn't grow up in the early 2000s, late 90s. Perhaps you are really young. Justin Timberlake. Like, who doesn't know Justin Timberlake? NSYNC. Does the song in the Trolls movie. Dated Britney Spears for a while and then tried to say that she was the crazy one, which I'm kind of now thinking like maybe she wasn't the crazy one and maybe he made her the crazy one. I'm just kind of saying he looks devious. Now he's got a couple kids with Jessica Biel now. Maybe he's chilled down a little, but terrible Tuesday on his part. So I'm sure he'll have to explain that to his wife on that one. But yeah, that's who that is. It was just something that popped up. It was a pop-up story. TMZ mostly was carrying all the details and just, when you think it's bad, there's someone always with a worse morning, night, whatever. So, something to think about there. But we'll get in today's show. Funny things have been happening. So think about this when you're out and about tomorrow and over the next couple weeks. Have you seen any Biden 2024 signs? Have you seen any Biden 2024 t-shirts? Have you noticed anybody with signs in their yard saying Biden 2024? I haven't. And I think I kind of know why. I think I might know why. If you've watched the show over the last 9 months or so that I've been doing it, I threw out some theories earlier this year and about what could possibly derail the upcoming election in November. One of those theories I threw out, which, you know, kind of maybe borrowed a little, but I kind of had the thought of it too, was there was going to be some type of manipulation. And what the theory is that Biden may not be the candidate for the Democratic Party come, I'm going to say, August. The Democratic National Convention is in August. That's where you would usually name the candidate. The candidate would come up to the stage, accept the nomination, and basically run from there with the party's, okay. Usually around this time of the year, right before, you would have multiple candidates still vying for the position and, getting endorsements, raising campaign funds, trying to outdo each other. This election cycle is a bit strange. And the fact that by, what was it, about February or March, we pretty much knew who the main candidates were for each party, Democratic and Republican. So you really didn't have this buildup to the national convention. So it was perceived Joe Biden was going to run for re-election. He was going to be the Democratic candidate. And that's who was running. Kamala Harris, vice presidential candidate. She's running. But do you find it funny that you haven't seen much campaigning from either one of them? Now Joe's starting to hit a couple, campaign fundraisers here and there. But have you actually heard anything from either one of them? Not really. So I kind of find it weird that you don't see any signs. You don't see flags. You don't see shirts people wearing. You see plenty of 2024 Trump stuff. I even see some 2024 RFK Jr., Robert F. Kennedy Jr. stuff. But I don't see much of the Biden stuff. So I'm now starting to hear rumblings on even some of the Democratic side stating that if Joe doesn't do very well in this upcoming debate that they're going to have, it's a debate on CNN. I believe it's the end of June. Have to double check the exact date. Both sides have basically agreed to the rules. There's some really wacky rules. We'll go over that in a later show, right before the election, before the debate, which is actually coming up pretty soon. But what I've heard is it's being said if Joe does not do well in the debate, they may have to realign the candidacy. Whoa. What does that mean? I think it means basically what I was saying before. We're going to get to the DNC, and Joe's going to have a theore- theoretical fall down some stairs, break a hip, and be deemed unacceptable. No, that's not the word. That's not the word. But he'll be deemed just basically, hey, he can't run now. He's, injured and he needs to take time to heal. And we wish him the best and hope for a speedy recovery. So we are going to bring out so and so. No, the number. I'm leaning towards Gavin Newsom, but still, some people say Michelle Obama. Some people still say Oprah Winfrey. I'm leaning more towards Gavin Newsom, but they will bring this person out who was already there, basically showing all the support and love for Joe. And whoever this person is, they will reluctantly accept the nomination and run from there. And then set up all the commercials, do all the fundraising. Everything kind of gets just sliding over to that person. And that person runs from there. Now you have basically the rest of September, October to kind of basically a little over 2 months to pull out a victory over Donald Trump and Robert F. Kennedy Jr. So the rumor mill is running. Things are moving into place. And I think it is definitely on. There's going to be a pinch hitter, if you know baseball. They're going to slide somebody else in there. And that's going to be the guy. That's going to be the guy to move onto that. And holy cow. There we go. That's the shakeup. That's the shakeup, baby. That is the one that, holy cow, that's the guy. So, what do you do if you're a Democrat right now? Do you accept that and roll with it, or do you say, "Oh, they just switched up my guy. My guy was Joe. Like, hold on. I thought that was the one I was supposed to be voting for. That's not right." Or do you say, "Hey, we understand what's going on and we want to support whoever is there because we're in the flock and the flock follows the shepherd, whoever that shepherd might be." So, definitely something to think about, and just keep your eyes open for those signs, bumper stickers, t-shirts. Let me know if you see any of those, because I'm really, really curious to see if those are out and about and around, because I haven't seen many of them. And that's why I think that's going on. Definitely, definitely, definitely. All right. So, who else was having a terrible, terrible Tuesday? Well, there were a few other people. to basically share our next person here. I think we can get this here. Okay. Can you see that? Yes. So we have a McDonald's employee in Lakeland, Florida, opens fire on customers in the drive-thru in a confrontation. So, this is the video from Fox News. This is who I got it from. Seems the lady apparently threw something at him. He opens up the window, throws something back at her, and she comes out and starts firing shots off. So we're gonna play that once again. You see, she throws something out the window. Guy comes back to the window and proceeds to start throwing stuff around in the store. And then she comes out with the gun in her right hand, ready to fire off right at them. Funny thing is, I don't think this is the only thing at that McDonald's in Lakeland. And I'm trying to find out if that's the same one that about a year ago there was a fight. Someone either jumped over the counter. Was it the customer or the employee? One of them was basically an all-out brawl, and they got arrested. Trying to find. See, it keeps coming up with this latest one. Lakeland McDonald's employee accused of firing a gun. But I believe that this happened about a year ago or so. Let me see. 2023 fight. Former employee accused of robbing the McDonald's. I believe there was also the lady who was robbing money or something, I believe. Looking through Lakeland. Yeah, see, it has all the latest ones. Oh, here we go. May 18th, 2023. Teen accused of shooting at car after trying to rob Lakeland McDonald's. A Lakeland McDonald's employee at gunpoint. Okay, so I don't think it's the same one, but a Lakeland McDonald's was involved in this one also. So having a terrible Tuesday is the Lakeland McDonald's franchisees. Okay, those guys, those are the ones having a terrible Tuesday. And I gotta say this, Lakeland is a mid-sized city, basically halfway between Orlando and Tampa, if you look on the map. Great little spot to stop in and say hi if you know anybody there, but also to get food. So if you're driving out to Tampa, Tampa's kind of expensive, a little less expensive than Orlando, but it's kind of the same deal. And so it's kind of a halfway point. You can stop, you can get cheaper food. But with all this stuff going on now and hearing about all this, do you really want to stop in Lakeland? And to the people who live in Lakeland, do you really even want to live there anymore? It's starting to look really bad, starting to look just not good. And I've heard it's actually a really nice area, at least the north side is. So, not having a good day with the Lakeland McDonald's franchisees. Though, let me just say, if this $5 meal, which starts in a couple days, if this $5 meal thing does not work for you guys, we might see a lot of McDonald's close down. I mean, we're seeing every other place close down. So, you know, why not a couple McDonald's? Trim the fat a little bit. So not having a fun Tuesday with those people. Um, definitely not a good time. Hopefully, I mean, she was fired, right? We'll have to confirm that, but I'm pretty sure firing at the patrons is definitely a fireable offense. Would you not say so? I would say so. So, not a good time in Lakeland. Terrible Tuesday. Okay. All right. We got some comments. Let's see. The comments say, why don't you talk about the Celtic win? Well, see, if you join the show early enough, I did talk about it a little bit, but if you want to talk about it a little more, let's talk about it. Um, basically routed the Mavericks. I think the Dallas Mavericks only had one win in that series, and you know, happy they won it in Boston. I believe it was in Boston where they won. It was 106 to 88, so not a close game, or at least doesn't seem like it was. Like I said, 18th championship, most all time for an NBA team. Honestly, I don't watch the NBA much anymore. I mean, you had, and I'll go into this for a little bit because it's funny. So I watch a guy called Adam the Woo. If you want to look him up on YouTube, Adam the Woo. He's not controversial at all. He just does fun travel stuff and all that. And I was going through his archives. I caught the video that is right before Disney World closes. So it was in March of 2020. It's basically the last day at Disney World is the title of it. It's about a 15-minute video. If you sit there and watch it, you can actually see the happiness dying in the world right there. You can actually see it. Like, people starting to realize, like, things are changing. Stuff's not going to be the same anymore. And it's funny, they all sit there and say, well, it's going to close for 2 weeks at least, and then we'll see from there. I believe it was closed for like, I want to say like 3 months or something. It was one of the first parks to reopen, I will say that. But it was closed for a while. And that was a time, 2020, where a lot of things stopped. The NBA stopped. There was the night, I believe it was the Utah Jazz, where they announced right before the game that the game was done. The NBA was stopping. There was, there was not going to be any more going on. And you went for almost a year, I think, without sports. I mean, some kind of came back, did the bubble thing, and tried to keep people separated. And remember those stupid cardboard cutouts in stadiums? Like, that was the dumbest shit ever. Like, what was the point? Just show the open stadium. Show that nobody was there. Everyone was told to stay at home. But you had the NBA do this like bubble thing at Disney World, and they were just supposed to be at their hotels. And then it turned out that they were kind of leaving and kind of getting food delivered and all this interaction that wasn't supposed to be going on. But really, the time went by where there was nothing going on, The football season had ended, so you kind of didn't miss that. But baseball, basketball, I believe the hockey playoffs had been stopped too, or they were trying to get them back or something. But you had a time there where you didn't have sports going on. And so some people actually got used to it and just stopped watching. And I was one of them. I mean, I really did not have the energy that I used to have to watch professional sports. It just, the tradition of sitting down and, okay, this game is one I like. This game is one I don't like. Oh, this is the playoffs. We're going to sit for these games, this game, this game. And there was even a time, where I'd go out. You'd go to a bar or you go to a restaurant. They had a place called the ESPN Club here at Disney World, and they would always have the games on. You'd have a million screens, always have the game on that you wanted, especially with the playoffs, and you'd sit and watch. You'd eat dessert or have a small meal. You'd enjoy it, the camaraderie and everything. And I think when everything shut down and you weren't watching it with everybody else and it wasn't even on, a lot of people just decided, hey, you know, I don't really need to watch this anymore. Why am I going to get back into it? I'm doing something else, or I'm just kind of not into it anymore. I'm not rooting for it anymore. So a lot of people just stopped watching it. Yes, there was the, you know, forced propaganda, I'll say, with the entity known as BLM. Um, Turned out that was a big sham. Uh, Not really sure if anybody's lives other than the people at the top of BLM ever got better. So a lot of people tuned off from that. And I think now, even still to this day, you don't have the numbers watching that you had before. So yes, it's a great win. Celtics are a classic organization in the NBA, been around forever. Congratulations to them, winning more championships than ever. It takes a lot to do that. But it's just, I don't know if it's as big as it would have been had nothing happened, you know? But feel free to disagree with me on that and put it in the comments and let me know what's going on. But going back to the video I was watching, so you could actually see like people realizing things were changing, things were going to be different. Because a lot of people said, well, they're saying 2 weeks, but we don't know if it's going to be 2 weeks. That was another thing that was like, you know, what did they really know and what were they really saying? And it's something that makes me angry as I think about it, because it's like a lot of time was lost, a lot of things were lost, a lot of lives were lost, a lot of people were lost. Even in the sense of divorces, families breaking up, friends not being friends anymore. Like, it really changed everything. And I've realized now it's never going to go back to what it was, but it can change to something better. It can change to a point where people realize what's happening and learn from it and pay better attention to stuff versus, you know, having that happy life. Like, it's all fun and games until you like realize what's really going on. So, but yeah, um, Celtic win, good for them. Uh, I guess it'll help fund the WNBA because that thing is still losing money even with all the publicity. I don't want to get into it. It doesn't make a difference for me. I haven't watched it. All I'll say is get some enforcers on the Indiana Fever. Get some people who know what they're doing. Hint, hint, wink, wink. Um, if you think about the bad boys of Detroit in the 90s, um, yeah, that's kind of what you kind of need right now. So good for the NBA. I guess it helps a little. I don't know. So yeah. So that was a terrible Tuesday for a lot of people. Um, I guess that's kind of the wrap. If you decided to watch The Acolyte instead of me, well, congratulations to the 3 other people out there. That thing is bombed. It's down about 14%. Uh, Nobody likes it. Disney's in the hole. And now they're shutting down rides over there. Test Track just shut down Sunday, and word is Big Thunder Mountain is next to shut down. You're shutting down rides in the middle of the summer. So either your attendance is really, really bad, or you really, really need to make some kind of adjustments with stuff. And my guess is the attendance is bad. Somebody asked me about this today, and they were like, "Isn't that really stupid to kind of close it in the summer?" And I said, "Well, yeah, because they didn't used to do it that way. Summer season was always a big season. Kids are out of school. Parents take vacations, the summer vacation, drive down, fly down. And so you'd have all your rides and everything going during the summer. And then you get your slowdown for school going back in. So you try to schedule some stuff in between there. Then you've got your Christmas vacations. Then you got a little time in January and February to do some maintenance. Then you get your spring break. Then you got a little time between summer vacation. So you would want all your rides running most of the time, unless there were some big things you had to fix in it. So to be taking down multiple rides at multiple times and redoing multiple things means you don't have enough people there. Pure as simple. And from what I've heard, your park attendance is what is fueling everything. So what does this mean for Disney? Probably a terrible upcoming quarter. Numbers are going to be down. So if you got stock there, you may want to sell. It's not going to be good. Another one is Stellantis, which owns Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. If you own any of that stock, get out now. It is going to be bad. Really bad. Take it from me. I'm a car guy. So just be forewarned and be ready when you see the reports. Again, rewatch this show in a month or two and, see what happened. I might just be right. All right, that's enough of the terrible Tuesdays. We're going to try to do things a little nicer next time, hopefully. I won't. Maybe I'll still be angry, though. So might still do it again. All right. So, like I say, we have a wonderful story hour Saturdays at 8. Feel free to tune into that or watch it afterward. It's a lot of fun. A lot of, good times. Good times. And then every Tuesday we come on here and we talk about stuff and we argue and complain, and it just helps everybody out. So thank you to everyone watching. Feel free to like, feel free to share, feel free to subscribe, follow. That way you get your notifications to let you know when I'm going to be on. Sometimes I run a little late. It happens. Just roll with it. I try to make these shows short and sweet, so you can just watch them for a little bit and then maybe put them on while you're, doing dishes, doing laundry, whatever. Get you through the day. So, we're going to wrap this one up. Hope you had a great week. Hope you come back and see me again. And always, as always, stay angry, my friends.